Many congratulations to the top three finishers of the FIA Formula One Qatar Grand Prix. In third place, Carlos Sainz. In second place, Oscar Piastri, and taking his 7th win of this 2025 season and his 3rd consecutive victory here in Qatar, our winner, Max Verstappen. Max, a brilliant win by you. Very well done. After starting P3, just tell us how this race ended up coming to you.
Yeah, I mean, start was decent. So I got one spot, and then from there on was of course just looking after the tires a bit. But then, yeah, of course the safety car came out basically at the right lap, so we opted to box, and yeah, I guess a lot of people behind me had the same idea. So yeah, the team did a very good job there. Stayed out of trouble also with the pit lane. You know, it was quite a busy pit lane, and yeah, from there onwards I knew that. We probably did the right thing, and I think that then also knew that the two McLarens needed a lot of pace, you know, to overcome basically that kind of pit stop. So I think when the safety car again went away, of course initially they pulled away quite a bit, but for me it was of course just making sure that the two stint lengths were in the best possible pace from the first lap till the end, and I think we managed that well. Yeah, just trying to do my own pace and look after the tires, and it was enough, of course, till the flag.
That safety car, just how surprised were you when you saw the McLarens stay out?
Well, I mean, first of all, when they called me in, I had to look and remember that it was like we were going into lap 7. So I was like, okay, now we can go to the end. So then, yeah, I was a bit surprised once I did the whole pit stop, because I mean, when they call you in, you're focused on, you know, the box and making sure you're not in trouble with releasing and whatever. So when I came out of the pits, I was like, okay, I think this is a very good opportunity now for us to win the race.
Was staying out even discussed over the radio?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything, so maybe they were talking in the pit wall. But to me, it was very clear. I just got the call to box.
Did you think at that moment this race was yours to lose?
I thought at that moment that there was a big chance of winning it. Yeah, I don't think about losing. That's not in my head. I think about how to win.
Look, Max, the car looked really strong today. Can you just tell us in what areas it was better in the race than it had been earlier in the weekend?
I mean, it was still the same as in qualifying. I'm struggling with the same things, but we won the race today by the strategy. And then from there onwards, just trying to manage your issues in the best possible way. And I think we did that very well.
Let's throw it forward a week. Just how hopeful are you about the car's potential in Abu Dhabi next week?
I have no idea. I mean, again, I hope that we start the weekend well. Let's say like that. That would help a lot. I think on pure pace it will be tough, but a race like today also shows that it's not always straightforward, a Grand Prix, and a lot of things can happen. So I'm probably relying a little bit on that.
You're 12 points behind Lando Norris. Given the season you've had, how much are you relishing this opportunity?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm happy to go there and have a go at it. But like I said before, you need to also be realistic. That I think on pure pace, we're not at the same level. But at the same time, when strategy maybe comes into play or making the right calls at the right time, you know, we might have the opportunity.
All right, very well done today. Thank you for that, Max. Oscar, if we could come to you now. Speechless. I don't have any words of what you said over the radio on the slowdown lap. Can you describe your level of frustration after this P2?
Pretty high. And I think that's saying quite a lot given the last few races I've had. But yeah, I mean, clearly we didn't get it right today, which is a shame because the whole weekend went very, very well. We had a lot of pace. I felt like I drove well. So yeah, it's pretty painful.
Which hurts more, the disqualification last weekend or the loss of a win here in Qatar?
I mean, I think on a personal level, you know, I feel like I've lost a win today. You know, in Vegas, I lost a P4. Obviously, for the team, you know, it was a pretty painful weekend. But yeah, when you, yeah, I think for me personally, this probably hurts more.
Can we delve into the safety car decision to stay out a little bit. Did you ask to pit yourself, and how surprised were you when you were aware that everyone behind you was pitting?
I asked what are we doing, because we're getting pretty close to the pit entry and I hadn't had a call yet. So, I think when you don't get a call instantly when the safety car comes out, clearly there's probably some discussions going on about what to do. And in that situation, you have to trust the team, because they have a lot more information than the driver in the car on where gaps are and stuff like that. So in that scenario, I have to trust what the team decide.
Let's look at the positives. You were on pole, you won the sprint, and you were brilliantly fast all weekend. Just how much of a consolation is all that?
I think in the next few days, probably yes, that will be quite an encouraging thing. I think this weekend was probably one of my best of the season. Like, there's one or two others that I can think of being on the same level as this weekend. So from that side of things, I'm very, very happy and very pleased to just be back in terms of pace. But unfortunately, it's another weekend where something's just not going our way.
All right, Oscar, thank you very much for that. Carlos, let's come to you. Brilliant performance by you. Now, you came into Qatar saying that you were probably going to have the most difficult weekend of the season, yet here you are in P3. Can you just explain what's happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's obviously partly due to, or mainly due to the hard work I think everyone's done trying to prepare this race after the very difficult weekend we had in Budapest, which is sort of this long medium speed combined corners that we always seem to be very, very weak. We put together a plan with the team to try some things, different things in the simulator and in the factory to try and switch on the car for these kind of tracks. And to be honest, right from the get-go in practice, the car was a lot better than expected, a lot more competitive. And then we did another couple of changes going into the main quali and the main race after our learnings from the sprint that really switched on the car, especially in the race pace. And yesterday we struggled a lot with front deck. Today the car felt a lot better, and we went from seeing Antonelli checking out in the sprint and giving us 10 seconds to all of a sudden today having a chance to keep him behind, race him, and even obviously with the strategy thing of the McLarens keep also Lando behind.
Compared to Hungary, just how different was the setup on the car here in Qatar?
Very different, very, very different. I had a few ideas for the team to try in the simulator. The team came up with some other ideas, and together we put together, I think, a car that honestly, since the first lap was a lot better than what we thought already in the simulator, felt okay. But you never really trust the simulator fully. You say, nah, it cannot be that it's this good. And suddenly from the first lap of FP1, I think I was trading P1s, P2s, and P3s with these guys, and I was like, yeah, this might be working, And then we did, as I said, some good progress through the weekend, and then we executed a really good race because with a good start from P7 to P5, great pit stops, great strategy, great management of the gaps, and the tire management that we have to do with cars that are a bit quicker than us around us. They're forcing us to push on that front left tire that here is never easy. We managed that really well, and that brought us the P3.
If only you'd made these setup changes earlier in the year, huh?
But no, it is not possible because in order to make them, you need to know the car and you need to try multiple things, trial and error, and you need to get it wrong many weekends to know that this doesn't work, to then try the other direction that might work. And the other direction sometimes doesn't work either, and you need to try a completely different thing and you make another mistake. So I always say the same thing, it takes time. When you switch teams, it really, really takes time. Races, there is no testing, so you need to try things on a race weekend, and you need your first 10, 15 races to understand these kind of things, your simulator sessions to try things, and you need the team to be brave. You need also people to be bold, and come up with ideas, and in the end it always pays off. There's no secrets in this sport. I think hard work and good understanding, good conclusions always pays off. And to be honest, the second half of the year we are performing at a very high level.
Given everything you've just said, does this P3 feel sweeter than Baku?
It feels different. Baku was a bit of a relief because I've had such a difficult 10 races. I was very quick in the first few races, but always things happening to me, no results coming my way. One of those seasons, I think there's, in the career of an F1 driver, you always have years where for some reason things don't come your way. It doesn't matter if it's luck, racing incidents, whatever, it just never comes together. But Baku was a relief of, as soon as I got a chance to fight for a podium in Baku, I took it and I gave the team the podium that I felt we needed and we deserved. And here it's more a combination of hard work, understanding. I'm extremely proud of the team because we've also struggled a bit at the beginning of the year with race execution, team comms, quali execution, and this weekend everyone's done a perfect job. Also the pit stops were perfect, everyone was perfect, and it's exactly what we all needed.
All right, very well done. Thank you for that, Carlos. Right, do we have any questions from the floor? Name and publication, please. Who's first? Luke.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Oscar, can you just talk through the moment when I guess you realised that the race was slipping away and what was unfolding? Was it when you realised that everyone had pitted behind you?
Yeah. When I got told that everyone has pitted except for me, Lando, and Ocon, and then Ocon pitted the next lap, I knew we were in some trouble. So, yeah, I think clearly some things to review, but. Yeah, I don't have any answers at the moment.
Thank you. Next. Where are we going? Matt, yeah.
Matt Coach from PlanetF1.com. Max, for you, you've been in championship fights in the final round. You've dominated seasons. Here you are on the precipice of another championship fight, the final round. How do you rate this season against those that you've had previously, because you've been an underdog throughout, which is a position that you've not had, I guess, previously. You've been sort of toe-to-toe, where here you've really sort of come from behind a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been very strong. But that's also something that I demand of myself after basically 11 years in Formula One. And, every year I think you become a bit more all-round, even in the championship years. There are always things that you look back at and you're like, I could have learned maybe a bit more, or I could have done a bit more there. And this can go from, how you set up the car, what you did yourself in terms of execution in a race, or, the way that you work together with the team. This year, we just had a really tough first half of the season, as everyone knows. But to still be in this fight, at the same time, I think we can be really proud of it, because I think in the middle of the season at some point it was almost not like you lose motivation, but it's just you don't really see a way forward of actually winning again in this season. It's almost like you have to hope that 26 would be better. But we definitely made some really good steps with the car, and in some weekends for sure we were in a very competitive state, I would say, where we could win races. But at the same time also we have won races where maybe we shouldn't have won, by like today, by making the right call as a team. And then of course it's still up to me to execute it in the best way possible, but that's at the end of the day also proper team effort. The way I work also with my race engineer, with GP, and also the guys in the background, the whole team, very close to me. I think we're really well integrated to each other, and we know exactly what we need to ask of each other. And of course that probably helps also when you're in a battle like this, when you are not the quickest, but you still pretty much maximize everything you've got.
Thank you. Any more? Yep.
Isabel Barker from The Sun. Oscar, you just seem so sort of exasperated and fed up at the end there. Obviously, you need to have faith in your team at this point, title showdown. I just wondered sort of how you're going to go about kind of restoring that faith between you and the team, I guess.
I don't think, it's as it's certainly not a catastrophe. I think we made a wrong decision today. I think that's clear, but it's not like the world ended. So obviously it hurts at the moment, but with time things will get better. There's been lots of difficult moments this year, previous seasons together, and I feel like you always become stronger through some of these moments. But it all depends on how you deal with it. So I'm sure we'll get through it. But obviously at the moment it does hurt.
Thank you. Another one.
Jake Watts, Low Water Sport. A question for Max, please. Max, you mentioned that there's been this sort of gradual process of discovering the car through the season. Can you sort of pinpoint that to any kind of eureka moment, sort of perhaps like after the summer break, kind of around Monza time, or has it been a season-long process to kind of get bedded in with this car and kind of understand it?
It's probably a bit what Carlos said as well. You try a lot of things, and a lot of things didn't work. But then I would say since Zandvoort, we found a bit of a direction, I would say. And and then in some tracks it has worked really well. Some other tracks we still have limitations, like here as well. We know that in long, medium speed corners, we just don't, that doesn't suit our car, basically. Plus, I think also the more like medium downforce tracks, that's normally probably the best for us, medium to low downforce, for whatever reason. That's not this track, and it's probably not really in Abu Dhabi as well. There's also some long corners there, but that's something that we, of course, try to understand more also in the future. Of course, I know that the regulations are going to be completely different, but it's still very important to figure it out. What you have been doing, I don't want to say been doing wrong, or it's just something that, you need to get better at, basically. And that's what we are, continuing to do.
Thank you, Max. Any more? Yeah,
Luke Smith from The Athletic. And Max, just building on what you're talking about in terms of the team coming together and gelling, obviously this will be your second F1 title showdown you're going into after 2021. How different will it feel this time around mentally, do you think? I know obviously that was a very tough year, and you and Lewis were tied on points then. You're trailing this time and it seemed lost, but is it a different mental situation, or can you take lessons from 21 to now apply?
No, I'm a lot more relaxed now. I mean, I know that I'm 12 points down. I go in there with just positive energy. I try everything I can, but at the same time, if I don't win it, I still know that I had an amazing season. So it doesn't really matter. It takes a lot of the pressure off. I'm just out there having a good time like I had today. I also started with, today with, we'll see how it goes. I know that when I sit in the car, I always try to maximize everything I can. And that's what I'll try to do, of course, also in Abu Dhabi. But at the same time, I also know that we need to rely on probably some external factors, to have a go at it. But a race like today shows that when you think it's going to be boring and straightforward, it's not. So I'm hoping that Abu Dhabi is going to be similar.
Thanks, Max. Another one? Yeah,
Phil Duncan, PA. Question for Max. Max, ahead of this race, Zach Brown was saying that he described you as a guy in a horror movie that he keeps coming back effectively. I mean, do you think you're a little bit in McLaren's heads and you've got them scrambled, and that's why they're making these sort of mistakes? And then do you think that just puts you, in the box seat to win this 5th championship in Abu Dhabi?
You can call me Chucky. Is that short enough for you? Well, I don't know. I mean, I saw it as well. I thought it was quite funny. From my side, I just focus on myself, and I know that when I go in the car, I just try to do the best, like I guess everyone does. But that's the only thing that I can control, right? And that's the only thing that I, of course, focus on.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, back to Matt.
One for Oscar. Zach and Andrew have said throughout the year that the emphasis is on treating yourself and Lando fairly and giving you an equal opportunity, and even so much as being willing to sacrifice the Drivers' Championship to afford you that opportunity. Now that you're living that scenario, how does that sit with you, and do you think that same approach next year is something you'd sign up to, having been through this experience?
I don't think there's really been too many scenarios where it's been detrimental to us, really. I think is obviously what happened in Monza, but that's really the only one where maybe you can. Well, a lot of people did argue about it, but I think the last few races have been nothing to do with how we've approached things as a team going wrong. On my side, it's been some things with the car and myself just not working. But clearly Lando's been very quick the last few weeks. This weekend, I think we got it wrong just because that's what we thought was the right thing to do, not because we were concerned about what was fair or what was not. So I don't think we need to change that approach. I think it yields a lot of positives. Yes, there's some tough moments, but there's also a lot of tough moments if you go in a different direction to that. So yeah, I don't think we need to change anything.
Okay, any more?
Carlos Miquel de Diaria Marca. Is a question for Carlos. Is your happiest day in Williams, or the first podium? The first podium in Baku is happier than this?
I think it's my proudest day in Williams. Happiest, maybe Baku was so happy to get your first podium for the team, and together with that relief that I was talking about before, this is just, I think I feel really proud of everyone, just very proud of obviously myself, but mainly the whole team for the weekend that we've executed, and yeah, more proud than happy, and obviously also happy.